So the answer was Kimi Räikkönen in 2007. Yeah. This was the first and only time in the modern era that a champion won with such a low number of victories.
Okay.
So I was right.
Somebody in the TV studio next door doing some TV stuff.
Oh, right. I didn't even know there was a TV studio.
Yeah. All right. You ready, man?
Let's go.
Actually, I'm reminded of Katie sitting right here when she said that Mercedes appeared to have taken risks with the engine, and that's fast is not going to finish races every time.
Mm-hmm. And she was dead right.
And she was dead right, because here we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ahead at the Apex. I'm your host, Josh, and today I'm once again joined by Tim.
Yeah, we are.
Tim is back again in the studio because it's exactly the same day and we're both wearing the same clothes.
Nice.
Yes, baby. And today we are talking about Papaya Rules, because we didn't last week and I promised we would. We're also talking about the woes of George Russell. There we go. And whether or not we judge the 2026 regulations too hard. That's right, baby. Controversial time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How are you, man? It's been
a
week.
Yeah.
A week.
What happened it's been a wild week.
It's been crazy.
I think, yeah, it's a great topic. Obviously, Papaya Rules is a great topic because it's rubbish. And this has really been the first time where it's been, this has been the first opportunity for them to bugger it up.
Again.
And boy, did they
immediately revert to type, like straight away.
It was fantastic. It really just proves that Zach Brown has never learned anything in his life. And
he wasn't even there.
He was there.
He was at a sports car racing event in Germany or this country. I can't remember.
Which is so funny because it means that he thought they weren't going to do very well.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, Zach Brown would never trade an opportunity to go, Lando! When Lando wins a race. So he just misjudged that one, which is so funny.
But they were bringing upgrades. Like, how did he?
They were bringing upgrades, and they were comfortably the paciest car of the weekend,
which seems to be a bit of a trend with upgrades this year. Like,
there seems to be a big leap.
Cars that bring upgrades immediately get huge amounts of performance.
So why doesn't everyone just bring upgrades every single week? They should just do that, and then they'll win everything.
Yeah. So Papaya Rules and all that. That's where we are. But just spotted some numbers here. McLaren have, on average, been 0.4 seconds off Mercedes in qualifying, but secured pole.
Okay.
And basically, their big upgrade package was the floor, the exposed area of the floor, much like Aston Martin, which is designed to bring the air inside the tires, over the diffuser, over the rear wing, all of that stuff. The new floor featured a notable rethink on the slats and louves ahead of the rear wheel, with a far more aggressive approach taken in utilizing the rear tire squirt. How the rotating tire squirts the air around it as it meets
do you
the
squirt
ground.
I guess you do because gas is a liquid. But
To energize the air being fed between the rear wheel and the diffuser. The rear wheel squashes the air underneath it, and what you want is that air to go under the diffuser and help your car, and not out of the wheel and give you wash on the wheel. You want your wheels to have a low pressure area outside of them so that they can move freely into that low pressure area, not a high pressure area. So that you
because
generate
you have
lots of
more
heat.
resistance. Yeah.
So that was McLaren's big wunderkind or whatever upgrade. But yeah, clearly Zach Brown wasn't there, so fantastic. And as Tim, you just said, first opportunity to win a race, first opportunity to use Papaya Rules. Taken, secured, messed up.
Buggered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Norris, as per usual, lost places on the opening lap.
Well, he put it on pole. Let's start there.
He did put it on pole, and it was good. It was a good quality performance from him. He does qualify well, though. He's always qualified pretty well.
Yeah. It's usually where
He's actually always qualified sort of annoyingly well.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a reputation for that.
No, but I think he deserves one.
Because like Leclerc, everyone goes, yeah, Leclerc's a quality specialist. It's like, yeah, okay, great. I wish he was a race specialist.
Yeah. Shame he weekend finishes on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But no, Norris qualifies well. I mean, he definitely qualifies better than Piastri qualifies. So he was on pole, and then start was good, which was normally or used to be his big problem, and then just threw it
Turn
way wide.
two was terrible.
Turn 2.
So turn 1, phenomenal. Well done.
Nailed it. Turn 2
But then it was like, oh,
went wide.
I know what I'm supposed to do here. Lose places.
Yeah, sorry.
I haven't done it.
Forgot. So then Piastri drove off.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then they just worked together and pulled away.
And they went together. But Norris was faster.
Clearly so.
Norris was quicker. And he basically said, can we offset strategies? And McLaren said no, having clearly...
Will? Is Will his engineer?
Still, yeah.
And Will was like, we are not allowed to do that, is the phrase that was said. Yeah.
And which they clearly had learned from the Hungarian Grand Prix 2 years ago when they made an absolute bugger mess of it.
Which was the one...
Was that 2 years ago?
Which was Piastri's first win?
2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah. I was there.
They swapped at the... You were there?
Mm-hmm.
Were you not there last year?
Nope. Hang on. No, it couldn't have been last year. Because Piastri was winning the whole season from like the beginning last year. I'm pretty sure it's 2 years ago, which is terrifying.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the year that Max hit Lewis. Like that.
Mm. So yeah, 2 years ago. So they've clearly learned that. And then they pulled Piastri in first, and Norris basically builds an offset because he had free air now.
Piastri was quicker.
Piastri was then quicker because he obviously had new rubber. And
until
on lap 38, Sainz ignored the blue flags due to the automatic system failing.
Now, let's be fair. He didn't ignore the blue flags. He never got them, is what he claimed.
Yeah.
This is what he claimed. It's a bit like, are you sure? Because when you're watching, if you see the TV screen, the panel screens next to the track that flash blue with the number in, that system feeds the driver's steering wheel and is also entirely automatic based on approaching speed of faster car. That system had failed earlier in the race. So the solution was the old blue flags on the panels, as well as the classic blue flag.
Yeah.
But Sainz was in a bit of a pride grudge match against Fernando Alonso, for who's going to be the worst Spaniard on the grid. And then decides, even though he's told, have you heard the radio message?
No.
He's told so far in advance that Piastri is catching. So far. Like he's told at the penultimate corner that Piastri is approaching. He's told at the last corner Piastri is approaching. He's told down the straight Piastri is approaching. He's told at turn 1 Piastri is approaching. And then at turn 2 he decides, oh, Piastri's not here anymore, and just turns in on him. Like, it's insane. So let's be fair to him. He was told.
Yeah.
He did argue the automatic
And he
system
did get a
failed.
penalty for it.
Should have been 10. But he did argue that the automatic system had failed, and the FA were like, oh, yeah, of course. Well, sorry.
Sorry, Science. And then, crashed into Piastri. Piastri then retires. So Norris, pit.
Well, Piastri retires later.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Piastri loses about 3-4 seconds of time. And then Norris is like, pit.
Yeah.
But Norris is told to pit. This is where the controversy comes in, right? From Papaya Rules. Because Norris doesn't pit the next lap. Norris waits 2 laps, 3 laps, and then pits when Piastri's hit by Sainz. So Piastri loses this huge chunk of time, and Norris immediately comes into the pit stop and then comes out 0.7 seconds ahead.
But he was also way quicker.
He was.
Like, after the pit stop, Piastri ran a 124.
Yeah.
And Norris was running like a 123. Like, it was super.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Norris goes from running a 124.5 versus Piastri's 123.9 to running 122.9s and then 123s, 123.5s, 124s to the end of the race. Don't get me wrong. Norris is quicker. But that's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about Papaya Rules. And whether this is within Papaya Rules. Because I don't think it is.
What?
I don't think this is in the spirit of Papaya Rules. Do you? They run mediums. Look, they run mediums together for the first 1970.
Well, so you're saying the fact that Norris extended is not Papaya Rules?
Yeah. Not that he extended, but that he extends and then pits immediately as Piastri has a lap that is like 4 seconds slower.
To jump him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then isn't given the Lando, we need to swap the positions back because we pitted this way for strategy reasons. or Oscar was hit by Carlos, so you need to give that position back because otherwise he was catching you. Message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think this is within the spirit of Papaya Rules.
Yeah, but also I think you can definitely argue it both ways. I think I'm on Lando's team. I think if this was the other way round, this to me feels a bit like Monza, in that it's just racing, right? A slow pit stop is just racing. Sometimes someone drives into you, that's just racing, and you can't doubly compensate for that.
I'm sorry. What I'm living in my head for audio listeners is that meme where Clarkson, Hammond, and Mayer stood on a boat and they're talking about golf. And Richard's like, yeah, I've started playing golf. And the pair of them just look at him like they're absolutely disgusted in his behavior. Tim just said, I think I'm on Lando's team. And a little bit of sick came up.
Yeah,
into the back of my mouth.
I think it is. I think if you are going to be...
Oh, look, let's not be hypocritical like Brundle.
That's what I mean.
You and I both said, that's racing. Racing happens.
Yeah. I think if you're upset about Piastri in Monza, which any sensible and sane person should have been,
yep.
This is the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that statement.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, but if I'm defending Papaya Rules...
Oh, it was terrible.
This is not Papaya Rules.
This is no.
Not that they ever called it that explicitly. But the whole "we are not allowed to do that" message is very weird.
Yes, I agree. And I think the fact that Piastri was asked to invert in Monza demonstrates that was the Papaya rules, the correct application of Papaya rules.
Papaya rules only counts when it's Lando on the receiving end, yeah.
But so I think if they were being, you're right, if they were in the spirit of Papaya rules, they should have inverted, and then Lando should have been, it was then free to attack him.
Yeah.
Which they didn't do. But I think I felt that, I think Papaya was a bullshit.
Yeah.
So I think the right thing happened. It's just, you can't have it and then not apply it. Yeah. So I agree.
Piastri ended up ritiring anyway with a gearbox failure, which is going to bring us on to our next topic.
Which wasn't related to the crash, was it?
No,
it just happened.
No, and actually this is McLaren's own gearbox. So it's kind of related to what I'm about to say next, but it's not super related. Which is woes for Russell and Mercedes in general. So let me put this into perspective for you, Tim. Points lost to reliability issues for teams in 2026. Mercedes 43,
Oof.
Red Bull 36, McLaren 30, and Ferrari 10. These are the four teams, the big four teams.
Mm-hmm.
Points lost to reliability for the drivers: Verstappen 26, Russell 25, Norris 20, Antonelli 18, Hadjar 10, Leclerc 10, Piastri 10, Hamilton 0.
Mm-hmm.
So Hamilton
looks after his car.
Has not retired.
So is the argument to say that Russell lost 25 points because he broke down in the lead? So this is assuming he finished the race in the position that he was in.
Yes, this is Canada, right? Reliability issue. Canada. Yeah. Whereas Antonelli was Spain. Because George hasn't had a reliability issue. He's had other issues.
Yeah.
In the race. But apart from Verstappen, who's had crash after crash of reliability issue after reliability issue, Russell, Norris, Antonelli, and Piastri there have Mercedes engines in their car. And I noticed a bit of a trend, which is that it's always the Mercedes power unit that fails. So to put that into perspective, Albon and Sainz both had failures in preseason testing. They didn't make the first preseason testing. They only made the second one. They also had issues in Australia, China, and Japan. Piastri and Norris both had pre-race battery faults at the Chinese Grand Prix, both DNS. Russell had battery/electrical PU failure at the Canadian Grand Prix while leading. Lando forced retirement mid-race due to a major technical issue at the Monaco Grand Prix with the battery. Albon failure in Spain due to engine cooling and battery management. Antonelli PU shut down late in the race in Spain. Carlos Sainz retired from the Austrian Grand Prix with another PU failure. Alpine were forced to abandon their initial engine pool to take Mercedes' redesigned battery specs ahead of Austria. So they got grid penalties. Russell reported inability to access full power deployment on the opening lap in Belgium. That was his issue.
Which is what led to the crash.
Russell cracked engine sump in Q3 at Hungary, which sprayed fluid all over the rest of his engine and on his back tyres. So that forced him to stop and swap engines overnight. And then Russell experienced a throttle/hybrid sequence failure causing anti-stall activation at the race start in Hungary. That's a lot of failures, man. In like,
and we're
races.
halfway through the season, but yeah, exactly. It's only like 10 races.
11.
Like 10.
Yeah. But you have to assume that list of failures grows if we had Bahrain and Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Right? You have to assume because they were early in the season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But actually, those reliability issues aren't getting any more sporadic as the season progresses, right? Like that's Hungary, Belgium, Austria, Canada, all very recent races. Spain, very recent race.
It wasn't like this was just the beginning of the season problem.
Yeah, it wasn't like every Mercedes engine failed in Australia. But since then, they've been hunky-dory. Don't worry about it. This is systematic. That's not good. And actually, I'm reminded of Katie sitting right here when she said that Mercedes appeared to have taken risks with the engine, and that's fast is not going to finish races every time.
Mm-hmm. And she was dead right.
Because here we are. Jesus, move the whole table.
I'm gonna move my chair.
Because Lewis Hamilton's had 0 points lost to reliability, and in the standings he sits
second,
50 points behind. Now,
that's big, isn't it?
that is big. And George now sits 9 points behind that in third, and Leclerc a further 22 points behind. And obviously Norris has made some chunks recently. When we do our driver reviews, we're going to talk about who we think is going to be world champion, and probably everybody will say Kimi, but I'm looking at this list, man, and I don't think that's true.
Oh,
There's a lot of failures. Anyway, Russell has had some issues. Do you want to be his race engineer, or do you want to be Russell for this?
Well, I keep being told that I look like George Russell a bit, so I'll be Russell.
Okay, so it's the start of the Belgian Grand Prix. George is approaching the grid on the formation lap, about to come in to start the race. So his race engineer says, and will be 4 burnouts, starting with the old DRS line. Final burnout, P9 Lawson. We are happy with SOC level, state of charge. And just a reminder for that boost press at full power exit turn 2. Last car approaching back of the grid. Stopped. As the race begins. Reminder, boost press.
I'm out. What the? No, you meant to do the what the happened with the SoC down the straight? I had no battery down the straight. Guys, unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Sorry about the trumpet. I was on the wrong menu. So that is a radio message that was never broadcast in this country.
No, it was broadcast in Europe.
Yeah, I saw it on the German broadcast, as probably most other people did, because they do not filter. That is not a happy man.
Nope.
Is it?
And wasn't it because it dumped all of his charge early or something? It was something to do with the AI.
Because he lost a place and then couldn't do the boost push properly, his AI thought it was in defense mode. So it dropped its deployment to a different part of the straight. It wasn't in start mode anymore. It was in defense mode, whatever that means. I have no idea. I've been watching motorsport for 30 years. I have no idea what the that means at all. Absolutely no idea. I mean, what are we talking about? Fucking AI learning what defense mode means. Anyway, for some reason, it went into weird deployment mode. State of charge, SOC. Get used to hearing that, because we're going to be hearing it for the next 4 years. And then with the start in Hungary, from what Kimi said in the press conference room afterwards, it seems like George went over and then the battery began to discharge. And then when he dumped it, he was not at full power. And we know when it's not at full power, the new MGUK system kicks in and you go into like a weird anti-stall thing. That's a skill issue, that one.
Yeah.
And Kimi basically said just about the same. But Toto has been weirdly vocal about this. So initially, you remember he was like, "Oh well, just George's driving style. It doesn't gel well with the machine learning stuff. It doesn't gel well with the battery."
Yeah, because he wasn't that consistent.
Right. And then since Belgium, he was like, "Oh no, wait. There is definitely something wrong with our engine. There is something wrong with the engine. Obviously there is because
Kimi.
Because obviously there is." And then obviously noticed that George's engine had a cracked sump in Hungary, and they're not sure if it can be repaired. The problem is when you've got your teenage teammate beating you at every single Grand Prix, and your weirdly sexy German boss saying it must be a skill issue for this long. Where's the confidence must be gone, surely.
Yeah, he doesn't seem someone that when you look at he's raring to go. I mean, it's like a different person from after Austria.
Yeah, I think so too. He won in Austria though, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean.
Yeah. But he's only won 2 races this year. Australia and Austria. So if there's a Oz Netherlands, Oz Monza, Oz Singapore,
yeah,
he might stand a chance.
I think he's had it really. I
Yeah,
mean, we
so
say
that was my question.
We
to you,
say
right?
that, but I mean, bigger leads have been closed. It depends. I mean, I think no, actually, that's a lie. I don't think he has had it. I think Kimi could easily have another PU failure. Russell wins, suddenly that's cut in half.
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of flack on Instagram right now because we said, which drivers do we think are still in this hunt? And Cam and I both said, I'm not sure about Lewis and I'm not sure about Lando, but Max.
Oh,
I can see
100%. You can't rule Max out ever.
There you go. Right.
You can't rule Max out ever. It's
This is what
silly.
I
How
said.
many people would have said that he was in the fight last year?
This is exactly what I said, right?
Everyone got such short memories. It's silly.
This is exactly what I said. And then someone was like, oh, that's got to be rage bait because Lando is ahead of him in the standings. I was like, and Lando was ahead of him in the standings last year.
By like 100 flipping points.
And look what happened, right? Like, it's just, you cannot write him out. And particularly now we're getting the Bahrain Grand Prix in the second half of the season. So now there's an extra race in the second half of the season.
Yeah. In Malaysia.
I see where you're coming from. I don't see Mercedes being this strong in the second half of the season.
No, I agree. I think there's a world where it happens. I just don't really, I don't want to completely rule them out, but I'm not confident about it.
I think Zandvoort goes.
I think Zandvoort goes to McLaren.
Maybe Red Bull. And then I was getting to that point in the podcast where we've been talking for nearly 2 hours and we're both just like,
yeah, it is actually exhausting.
Yeah, I think he goes either the way of McLaren or somehow Max Verstappen pulls it out the back.
I think it'll be a double. I think it'll be a McLaren 1-2, Max 3rd, Lewis 4th, Charles 5th.
Which really condenses this table.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's the straight line tracks, but Ferrari's engine is right there now.
Yeah, I think they're really gunning for Monza.
Yeah.
A Lewis win at Monza would be cinema.
A Charles win at Monza would be cinema.
Right, yeah. I know you don't like Lewis very much, but objectively, a Lewis win at Monza would be more cinematic than a Charles win at Monza. Yes, it would. Stop it. Yes, it would.
Objectively, you're just wrong.
No, objectively, it would be.
No,
Come on.
objectively, you're just wrong.
Hamilton winning in Ferrari at Monza would be awesome. Charles has already done it.
Right, but the only way I support that hypothesis is if Lewis is closer to Kimi after Zandvoort. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, we need a world champion this year.
Okay.
And if that has to be Lewis because he's 30 points ahead, then yeah, okay, fine. He has to be Lewis.
I think it would be cool. Anyway, whatever. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean,
we'll debate that one in a couple months.
A Ferrari win in Monza this year would be cinematic, no matter who it is. And I agree with you that it would be cinematic if it was Lewis. I just think that Charles deserves better.
I just want to give him a little kiss on his head.
I just want him to have, nice things. We're not even going to comment on the photos that have appeared this week.
Which
That's
photos?
their business.
Oh, of the fact that she's obviously pregnant. Great. Good for them. Chuff for them.
Yeah. Okay. And in the questions section of the Ahead at the Apex podcast, we also have from Val, hardly any mention of George Russell managed to pull some points despite parking his car on track at the end of quali and dropping to P21 at the start of the race. How did he manage to get back to 6th?
Because his car is much better than...
Sorry, I'm misreading.
The Aston is 7th, I think.
We're at 7th.
7 or 8.
We're terrible people. 7th behind Hajar. It's because he's got an absolute rocket ship with a new engine in the back. I mean,
Yeah. It's a good race from him.
I did see a Instagram reel of George. You can't overtake a Hungary, George Russell, and it was just like one.
Boom, 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 boom.
But then at the end of the Instagram reel, it discredited itself, in my opinion, because at the end of the Instagram reel, it was like him overtaking the lapped cars. That's not the same.
Yeah, that's stupid.
According to that reel, he overtook Fernando Alonso twice, and that did not happen. So, it's just a rocket ship. He finished exactly where I expected him to finish, which would have been 8th if Piastri was still in the race, and he was over nearly a minute behind Lando. So,
yeah,
and also 40 seconds behind his teammate. So let's not.
Yeah, but he did. Yeah, he did.
A good recovery drive.
It was a very good recovery drive.
Right, Tim, we're going to finish off this week's podcast with a bit of an open question. I have no notes on this, but were we wrong?
No.
Great. Perfect. Fantastic.
See you next week.
So we've obviously spent a huge amount of time this year talking about... We've been doing this podcast for over a year. We spent a lot of last year talking about McLaren. We spent a lot of this year talking about batteries, which are just as bad. We've been, amongst others, we've been quite critical. I don't think we've been the most critical.
I think we've been quite balanced, to be honest.
But we have been quite critical. And it's because we're so passionate about this sport, right? We love this sport. We love watching this sport. We want it to be, we know what it used to be.
We want it to be exciting.
We want it to be interesting. And we want to feel like we have to make it into the front of the TV before lights out every week, because we physically don't know what's going to happen, and it's exciting, and there's a battle. We want that's what we want sport to be, right? We don't want it to be like, oh well, who cares if I watch it? I'll watch it tonight, or we'll watch it next week, or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. I'll see the race. I'll see the result. Is what it is. Which is, to me, kind of how it's feeling. I find myself more glued these days to the bikes, and I'm like, because I can't watch F1 until the next day because of the catch-up system. I typically watch F1 live, but a couple of times this year already, I've been like, I'll watch qualifying tonight. I don't care. It is what it is. And it's just a little bit of it is lost. But Hungary was an old school kind of race. Difficult to overtake. The lead car pulled away. It was like mid-2000s Formula 1.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, but again, I think Hungary has always been a really new, unique track.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So you're coming back to once again, no, we were not wrong.
I don't think we were wrong.
Spa was not good.
Spa sucked. I think you're getting to the point where the heritage tracks are bad and the newer tracks are good. But I can't imagine a Saudi would be a good race.
No.
I can't imagine Vegas is going to be a good race.
Sepang.
I can't imagine.
I'm really hyped about Sepang. It's just such the wrong year for Sepang.
Yeah. I think Zandvoort will be good.
Yeah. Singapore. Potential.
Yeah, I think Singapore will be all right.
Not huge straights, but like enough.
But enough that overtake will make a difference.
Silverstone wasn't horrendous, right? Like Silverstone and Spa was like, okay, where are you going to pick your deployment zones? Oh, right, yes, the big straight. But everything else, no. And then Hungary was not too bad. Spain was okay. Spain was all right, battery-wise. What's on the calendar? Schedule. Yeah, Monza will be horrendous. There's no way around it. Madrid might be okay. Baku will be terrible. I've just seen they've put round 16 in for Bahrain, but then drawn the circuit map of Sepang.
That's funny.
Singapore might be okay. Texas, no, probably not with that big back straight. Mexico, no. Brazil, maybe.
Brazil's always good.
And then who knows if we're getting Qatar or
Brazil's
Abu Dhabi.
always good. Yeah. So I think generally no. I think also it does feel there's no heart in it. I feel less excited about it generally. There isn't a story.
No. Do we think one's going to develop?
There isn't a hook.
Fight gets closer?
The only hook there has been is, oh my god, look, it's a mushroom in Mario Kart.
Okay, that is actually the end anyway. So I don't, I'm getting pissy outside, but like that is the end. All that's left to say from me. What are you laughing about?
I've got something else to say, but we'll do this. It'll be a Patreon section. It's very funny.
Go ahead.
Well, so I went on our Google Notes Google Doc, and I noticed there was a Gemini button. So I pressed it, and I just said, and it was like, well, what do you want to do to this document? And I just wrote funnier and let it do it. So I'm just slowly reading through, and some of them are really stupid.
Well, this Google Doc.
Yeah. So if you want to hear that, which will be funny,
generate your next big idea.
No, I've already done it. Stop. Bugger off.
Yeah, okay.
There's going to be a bonus section on that, but we're not going to put into the main pod. It's going to be a Patreon.
Yeah, when do you want to do that?
We'll do it now.
Okay, go on then.
Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot you can just cut this.
Yeah.
All right, bye. See you next week.
Bye. See you next week. Okay, bye.
Go eat some lunch.
Okay, everyone. Bye. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.